Jai Shri Krishna, Namaste. On behalf of Adhyatma Yoga Academy and Advaita Academy, a hearty welcome to all of you to Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, the global festival of divinity in humanity, celebrating the universal teachings of Shri Krishna. Today is the third day of Harikatha Saptaha, celebrating the Krishna Leela in collaboration with Vijay Lakshmi School of Harikatha. The Harikatha will be followed by Krishna, the real hero of youths, by Sri Govind Krishnadas, a motivational speaker from Kurukshetra. So far, we listened to Krishna Jananam and the Bala Leelas of Sri Krishna. Today, it is Yogashri Bharat who is going to be presenting a Harikatha on the Vrindavana Leela of Sri Krishna. Kumari Yogashri Bharat is a student of Vidushi Srimati Vishakha Hari as part of the Vijayashri School of Harikatha. She was introduced to Carnatic music by her mother, Srimati Radha Bharat, at the tender age of 4 and continued her music education under Srimati Jayalakshmi Srinivasan until 2013. Since 2013, she has been learning Carnatic music from Srimati Vishakha Hari. She is also a certified Vidushi by the Karnataka Music Board. Yogashri is originally from Bangalore and is currently pursuing PhD in chemical engineering at the University of Alberta, Canada. Now let's drown ourselves in the Harikatha by Yogashri Bharat. Thank you.
Namo Namah Sadgurubhyah Sadgurubhyo Namo Namah Namo Namah Sadgurubhyah Sadgurubhyo Namo Namah Hare Rameti Krishneti Nama Sankirtanam Sada Lokakshemaya Kurvantam Premikam Sadgurum Bhaje Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Devaki Paramahanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Vande Krishnam Jagadgurum मम हृदये विहरदयाळो मम हृदये विहरदयाळो कृष्णा मम हृदये विहरदयाळो कृष्णा मम हृदये विहरदयाळो कृष्णा मन्दरधर गोविन्द मुकुन्द 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 मम हृदये विहरदयाळो मन्दगाम सुविराजित श्रीकृष्ण मन्दगाम सुविराजित श्रीकृष्ण मन्दगाम सुविराजित श्रीकृष्ण मन्दगाम सुविराजित श्रीकृष्ण मन्दहासवदन अरविन्दनयन मन्दहासवदन अरविन्दनयन मम हृदये विहरदयाळो यदुकुलवारिधि पूर्णचन्द्रा यदुकुलवारिधि पूर्णचन्द्रा विदुरवन्दितपाद गुणसान्द्रा यदुकुलवारिधि पूर्णचन्द्रा विदुरवन्दितपाद गुणसान्द्रा मदन जनक श्रीकर महानुभाव मदन जनक श्रीकर महानुभाव मदन जनक श्रीकर महानुभाव सदय हृदय श्री वासुदेव सदा सदय हृदय श्री वासुदेव सदा मम हृदय विहरदयाळो कृष्णा मन्दरधर गोविन्द मुकुन्द मम हृदये विहरदयाळो 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 Namaskaram and Radhe Krishna to everyone. Yesterday, Aratna helped us experience the beautiful, mysterious, and mystic leelas of Balakrishna. Today, we will continue by exploring the Vrindavana Leela of Lord Sri Krishna. Chapters 12 to 37 of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam elucidate the divine pastimes of Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. Right from the slaying of Aghasura, the Brahma Mohanam Leela, killing of Dhenukasura, Kaliya Nartana Leela, slaying of Pralambhasura, the swallowing of forest fire, the blessing of the Yajna Patnis, to the Govardhana Leela, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna has showcased his inconceivably unlimited spiritual qualities through his countless wondrous feats. Take, for example, the Brahma Mohanam Leela. In this Leela, the creator of the universe, Lord Brahma, wanted to test the potency of Lord Sri Krishna. He wanted to check if Krishna was indeed the supreme Narayana, or was he just a mere 6-year-old boy? So he hid the cows, the cowherds, and kept them in a secluded place. When Krishna went to find them, he couldn't do so. He understood that this was a trick played by Brahma, and he played along. Krishna manifested himself into all the forms of the cows and the cowherds that went missing. When Brahma returned after a year, he saw that Krishna was happily playing with his friends, Gopas, the cows and the cowherds that Brahma had kidnapped a year ago. Brahma was astounded by the extent of Krishna's spiritual prowess. Traversing the vast ocean that is Krishna's Leelas in this limited time is an impossible task. Hence, we will be exploring just a few droplets in a hope of imbibing some of his qualities. Vrindavan is described as a lush green forest on the banks of the river Yamuna. The birds chirping, the bees buzzing, the flowers blooming, and the cows grazing. On one such fine day, kaschit Vishagnina Radha kaschit Vishagnina Shapyamanapaya yasmin Shapyamanapaya Vishagnina Shapyamanapaya yasmin Shapyamanapaya yasmin Patanti uparigaha Patanti uparigaha khagaha Patanti On such a fine day, Kalindya, in the Kalindi river, the Yamuna river, Kalasya, there lived a giant 1,000-headed serpent named Kalia. Radaha kaschit Vishagnina Shapyamana paya yasmin. His poison, Visha, was so vicious that it would heat up and boil the waters of the Kalindi. So much so that Kargaha, the birds, Uparigaha, flying high above, Patanti, would just fall down, having inhaled the fumes emanating from the river. Not only the air above the water, but the poison extended to the shores, killing all the vegetation, crops, and all the creatures on the shores. When the cows and the gopas went to take a sip of water from the Yamuna, they just fell unconscious. Krishna, having seen the plight of his friends, the fearful plight of his friends, he immediately, Krishna kadambamadiruhya ततोति तुङ्गम् कृष्णः कृष्णः कदम्बम् अधिरुह्य ततोति तुङ्गम् कृष्णः कृष्णः कदम्बमधिरुह्य ततोति तुङ्गम् आस्फोट्यगाढरचनम् न्यपतत विशोदे स्फोट्यगाढरचनम् न्यपतत विशोदे Krishna Kadambamadiruhya swiftly climbed the Kadamba tree. As though preparing for war, slapped his arms and tightened his belt, and with a smile on his face, Tatoti Tungam Vishode, jumped high from the Kadamba tree into the river. This shloka and the previous shloka is taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 16th chapter. As soon as Krishna jumped into the river with a splash, Tam Dhim Tarannatam, Tam Dhim Tarannatam, Dina Takita 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 Tam Dhim Krishna, with his mighty arms, began swirling the waters of the river, creating resounding waves. Kaliya noticed that someone had trespassed his area and immediately came forward. Tam dhim tarannatam, Tam dhim tarannatam, Dittagida digutagida digutagida dadigidadum Tam dhim tarannatam, Dittagida digutagida digutagida dadigidadum Tam dhim tarannatam, Yamuna tadaka bankeru abada Tam dhim tarannatam, Yamuna tadaka bankeru abada Tavika sarasadana Tayaka sarasamodika jagadika Tam dhim tarannatam, Tam dhim tarannatam, Yamuna tadaga pankeru abadatavi gadavika sarasadana Nayaka sarasamodika jagadika Tam dhim tarannatam. Elsewhere in the village, Nanda Maharaj, the father of Krishna, began noticing certain inauspicious omens. He began wondering if any difficulty had befallen upon the boys, the cows, Krishna, and Balram. He, along with the other villagers, including the women and Mother Yashoda, rushed to river Kalindi. As they reached the shores, they see that Kaliya had coiled up Krishna very tightly. Tamitatajjam, takatajjam, tagadikatajjam ta. But Krishna expanded his body with his strength and got out of the clutches of Kaliya. Tamitatajjam, takatajjam, takadikatajjam ta. The tussle between the two carried on for a while. The Lord then pushed Kaliya's shoulders, climbed onto Kaliya's hoods, and began dancing. He began dancing with his lotus feet very effortlessly and very beautifully. Each time Kaliya would raise his hood in anger or in retaliation, the Lord very beautifully would place his feet on Kaliya as though following a particular rhythm or following a particular beat. To view this, all the demigods, the demigoddesses, all came out from their abodes. Krishna then used all of the hoods of Kaliya as though dancing on a stage. Now, to provide music to the dance that he's performing, he took out his own flute and began playing music for the Nartana that he was performing on Kaliya. Tamitatajjam tagadajjam tagadikadajjam tam 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 Madabujanga Shirapada Yugapani the Madunina Nuravatami Tatajam Tagadajam Tagadikadajam Tam Madhubujanga Shirapada Yugapani the Madubina Nuravatami Tatajam Tagadajam Tagadikadajam Tam Gopangana Ulavagama Davamadushu Ganasam Tagadagana Parivrita Sadayamuni Hridaya Tajam Jam tarikita jam ta kopangana ulavudama dhamadasu dana harisam malana malana dana dana jana parivrita sadayamuni hridayatami tatajam tagatajam tagadikatajam ta nirantarananda mugakamala ananta natananga padayugala nirantarananda mugakamala ananta natananga padayugala madhumuralidhara Marichi Sagita Manoramana Madhumuralidhara Harilahari Marichi Sagita Manoramana Rasadurandara Jalada Shobhamana Darachigura Mukula Makuta Neela Shikhanda Mohana Padiya Natana Tamita Tajam Tagatajam Tagadikatajam Tam Nirantarananda Mukakamala Ananta Natananga Padayugala Madhumuralidhara Harilahari Marichi Sagita Manoramana Rasadurantara Jalada Shobhamana Darachigura Makula Makuta Neela Shikhanda Mohana Padiya Natana Tamita Tajam Tagatajam Tagadikatajam Ta Neela Manohara Jala Vibhushana Nirata Jalanjal Bhujanganartana Neela Manohara Jala Vibhushana Nirata Jalanjala Bhujanganartana Neera Jala Adhika Mridula Patali Kata Taranga Tunga Tadanga Nrittaka Nrittaka Tam Neerajadalat Adhika Mridula Patali Kata Taranga Tunga Tadanga Nrittaka Nrittaka Tam Takatai Takatadimidiya Datakata Kitataka Jagadig Jaganandam Takajagataka Jagadig Jaganandam Yamuna Tataka Tunga Taranga Himakarastimita Ramita Shubangam Itastatas Karuna Panga Yadivara Hrudaya Sororu Habringam Dinatatillana 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 Digitillana Tilaka Sindura Alaka Shungara Vadana Gambira Uragamana Sanchara Nanda Sukumara Navanita Gadichora Chandamanihara Jalajabavanuttadira Nanda Sukumara Navanita Gadicho Swachandamanihara Jalajabavanuttadira Jaya Vijay Bhava Nanda Kumara Rajajana Paramananda Kishora Kaliya Natarananda Gambira Karunara Sayuta Bhava Sharira Dim Tadam Tadim Tadam Tatri Dim Tadam Tadim Tadam Tatri Dim Tattam Tadim Tattam Tatai Dimita Dimita Kita Jad Juguna Gudandari the Guna Gunandari Dimita Kaku Dimita Dimita Kita Jad Rajakumara Mahimalan Kritavanamala Durandara Krita Krita Kara Tajam Tattakajam Tattagannam Tattagurram Tattajam Tattakajam Tattagannam Tattagurram Tatta Janandari Tattaku Janandarita Janandarita Dimita Kita Janutaku Janandarita Taku Janandarita Janandarita Dimita Kita Janutaku Janandarita Taku Janandarita Janandarita Janandari Mala Madhukara Madhubadara Samanayana Kamala Dala Chalana Muni Hridayama Picho Rajatura Dayakara Muradhikara Mala Madhukara Madhubadara Samanayana Kamala Dala Chalana Muni Hridayama Picho Rajatura Dayakara Muradhikara Mala Madhukara Madhubadara Samanayana Kamala Dala Chalana Muni Hridayama Chora Chatura Dayakara Murari The This kriti is composed by Oothukadu Venkata Subbayar, set to Ragam Gambiranata, how Oothukadu visualized the dancing of Krishna on Kaliya, the Kaliya Nartana Tilana. After this episode, Kaliya was completely destroyed, unconscious, defeated, having been battered by the Lord's feet. Kaliya's wives, the Nagapatnis, came forward to pray to Krishna, to seek his forgiveness and for him to bestow mercy upon Kaliya. Krishna then released Kaliya and banished him from the waters of Kalindi. This avataram is an indication of how we as humans possess so many negative emotions represented by the 1,000-headed serpent, and how we, in order to get rid of them, just need to surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. As days passed by, Krishna performed many more divine leelas. Seasons passed by as well. And finally, the autumn season arrived. Upon the arrival of autumn, the beauty of Vrindavan, just enhanced by the beautiful flowers, the clear skies, the clear land, and so on. As usual, Krishna, his elder brother Balram, the other Gopas, his friends, went grazing of the cows in the forest. On one such occasion, Krishna, with his curly jet black hair, with a peacock feather tucked in, bluish black skin tone resembling clouds laden with rain, beautiful eyes, small nose, small cherry red lips, a pearl necklace dangling across his neck, sparkling yellow pitambar tied across his waist, took out his flute very stylishly, stood in a Tribhangi style, and with his chubby dimpled fingers, began playing the flute. As soon as Krishna began playing the flute, Shailaitam cha Salilam Salilam Shailaitam cha Salilam Shailan cha Salilaitam Shailaitam cha Salilam Salilam Shailan cha Salilaitam Yasya Venuninadena 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 Tam Vande Sundaram Shyama Sundaram Shyama Sundaram. The shloka is taken from Govinda Kathamritam, that is composed by my revered Guru Sri Sri Krishna Premi Swamigal, fondly called as Sri Anna. As soon as Krishna began playing the flute, the peacocks began dancing. Other creatures, looking at the peacocks, just stood still, petrified. As Krishna began playing the flute, Shailaitam cha, a stone all the immovable objects, all the stationary objects began melting, began flowing. Salilam Shailam cha salilayitham. The flowing objects, the rivers, stood still and stopped their flow. As Krishna played the flute, the cows that went grazing stopped what they were doing, with their ears standing still, as though drinking the nectar from Krishna's flute, that they didn't even realize the flies that were irritating them. They didn't even swat those flies with their ears. The flies, in fact, were so mesmerized in Krishna's melodious Venunadam that they stood still too. The calves, drinking milk from their mother's udders, forgot themselves completely, so much so that they forgot to swallow the milk and just retained the milk in their mouths, with it dripping on the sides. Birds flying took shelter on the trees to enjoy Krishna's melodious music. Clouds began rearranging themselves in order to protect Krishna's head, to provide him shade from the sun. The Yamuna river, from the river, she brings lotus to the feet of the Lord. The entire Jagat, the entire world was mesmerized, stunned, petrified by Krishna's beautiful, melodious Venunadam. Venunadava madutire Venunadava madutire Vrindavana golu Venunadava madutire namma Yadavaraya Yadavaraya Vrindavana golu Yadavaraya Vrindavana golu Venunadava madutire namma Yadavaraya Vrindavana golu Venunadava madutire namma Yadavaraya Vrindavana golu. Radha Muntada Radha Muntada Gopiyarella Radha Muntada Gopiyarella Radha Muntada Gopiyarella Radha Muntada Gopiyarella Madhusudana ಸೇವಿಸುತ್ತೀರೆ ಮಧುಸೂದನ ನಿನ್ನು ಸೇವಿಸುತ್ತೀರೆ ಸೂರರು ಅಂಪರಾದಿ ನಂದನ ಸೂರೆ ಸರಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರು ಮೈ ಮರೆದಿರೆ ಯಾದವರಾಯ ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳ್ಳಲನ್ನು ಮುಡುತ್ತ ಪಾಡುತ್ತ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳ್ಳಲನ್ನು ಮುಡುತ್ತ ಪಾಡುತ್ತ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳ್ಳಲನ್ನು ಮುಡುತ್ತ ಪಾಡುತ್ತ ಸರಿಗಮ ಸ್ವರಗಳು ಸುತ ಹರಿಹರ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮರು ನಲಿದಾಡುತ್ತಿರೆ ತುಂಬುರು ನಾರದರು ಪಾಡುತ್ತಿರೆ ತುಂಬುರು ನಾರದರು ಪಾಡುತ್ತಿರೆ ಯಾದವರಾಯ ವೇಣುನಾದವ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರೆ ಅರವಿಂದ ರಣನಯನ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅರವಿಂದ ರಣನಯನ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅರವಿಂದ ರಣನಯನ ಕರುಗಳು ಸಹಿತ ಗೋಕುಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿರಿಕಾಗಿ ನೆಲೆಯಾದೆ ಕೇಶವರಾಯ ಕರುಗಳು ಮೆಲ್ಲನ ವರಗೋಪಾಲ 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 ಯಾದವರಾಯ ಬೃಂದಾವನ ವೇಣುನಾದವ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರ. The song is composed by Kanakadasa, one of the Ashtadasas of Karnataka. He says, so beautiful is Krishna's Venunadam that Radha Muntada Gopiyarella, all the gopis, including Radha, Madhusudana ninnu sevesutire, were involved in the service of Madhusudana, service to Madhusudana. The demigods, the demigoddesses, everyone were so mesmerized and stunned by Krishna's music that that they forgot themselves completely. They were in it completely. The Srimad Bhagavatam in the 21st chapter also details out this divine Leela. On one other occasion, Vrindavan was preparing for a grand sacrifice, grand puja to Lord Indra. Puja items were getting ready, prasadam was getting ready, sweets such as kheer, paisam, modak, gulab jamun, rasgulla, Mysore pak, etc. Snacks such as mixture, murukku, tatte, crispies, cheeda, etc. Right? Puja, food items such as rice, chapati, roti, curries to go along with it were all being prepared in large quantities for the puja, for the Naivedyam. There was a festive atmosphere in Vrindavan. Krishna, having returned from grazing, asked his father as though innocently, Baba, what are these preparations for? Why are we doing this puja? Nanda Maharaj replies, O Krishna, O Kanha, Indra is the controller of rain. Because of rain, we are living prosperously and in a sustained manner. In order to thank him for his blessings and for him to continue to shower his blessings upon us, we are performing this grand sacrifice for Lord Indra. Krishna, the great world preceptor, says, it is karma that gives the fruits of one's action, that gives the results of one's action. If a puja needs to be done, then do it to the forest and the hill instead, because it is those elements that is providing us food, fodder, shelter, and helping us live prosperously and in a sustained manner. So perform the puja for the Govardhana hill instead. Nanda Maharaj agreed to the wise words of 7-year-old Krishna. He, along with the other elders, decided to shift the puja to Govardhana hill this year. Elsewhere, Indra, having heard this news, was very angry. He was angered by the disruption of the puja that was meant for him. He was consumed in pride, anger, so much so that he began falsely illusioning that he was the supreme controller and the supreme master. He was so angry that घनाघनेति गर्जिते घनाघनेति गर्जिते घनेति गर्जिते घने घनाघनेति गर्जिते घने समाकुलं जनम् समाकुलं जनम् समाकुलं जनम् भयं त्यजेति सान्त्वयन्नगम् भयं त्यजेति सान्त्वयन्नगम् ददार माधवः 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 This shloka is taken from the Govinda Kathamritam again. Indra was so angry that he sent rainfall, heavy rainfall to Vrindavan. And not just any rainfall. He ordered the Samvartaka Megham or the Samvartaka clouds. The Samvartaka Megham facilitates the destruction of the world. There was torrential rainfall. There was a hailstorm. There were floods. There was gusty storm, winds. Everything was getting destroyed in the atrocious downpour. There was lightning. There was thunder. People were running helter-skelter, praying for their lives. The people ran to Krishna. Govindam Sharanam Yayuhu Gopa Gopyascha Shitartha Govindam Sharanam Yayuhu Govinda. Please protect us, Govinda. Please protect us. Krishna, having seen the distress of his people, immediately ran towards the Govardhana hill. With his little finger, mighty strength, he lifted the Govardhana hill. Govardhana Giridhara Govardhana Giridhara Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Balaka Paramananda Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Balaka Paramananda Govardhana Giridhara Shri Vatsankita Shri Kaustubhadhara Shri Vatsankita Shri Kaustubhadhara Shri Vatsankita Shri Kaustubhadhara Shri Vatsankita Shri Kaustubhadhara Bhavuka Bhayahara Mahi Mukunda Bhavuka Bhayahara Mahi Mukunda Bhavuka Bhayahara Mahi Mukunda Govardhana Giridhara Padita Suraripu Padava Brinda Padita Suraripu Padava Brinda Pavana Charita Paramrita Kanda Natya Rasotkata Nana Bharana Natya Rasotkata Nana Bharana Nanabarana Natyarasokata Nanabarana Narayana Tirtha Chitacharana Narayana Tirtha Chitacharana Narayana Tirtha Chitacharana Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Balaka Paramananda Govardhana Giridhara 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 Govardhana Giri Govardhana Giri Govardhana Giridhara Govinda. The song is composed by Narayana Tirtha, and the Sharanagati verse that I had recited earlier is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayana Tirtha says how Krishna effortlessly lifted the Govardhana hill with his little finger as though plucking a mushroom off the ground. Nammalvar, the Tamil poet, in his Pasuram in Thiruvarmuri says, Menirai Kilpuga Mapurala Sunaivaai Nirai Neer Pelir Choriyam Ina Aanirai Paadi Ange Odungam Appan Timalai Kaathu Kundram Eduthane. He says how Krishna, who eliminates all danger, stopped the disaster by providing shelter to the cows, to the cowherds, to the villagers, to the gopas, to the gopis, to his parents, to everyone in Vrindavan, including the animals, the plants, and the birds. For 7 whole days, the rain continued. Slowly, Indra began realizing the truth and was astonished by Krishna's superior mystical powers. As the rain retreated, the villagers were happy once again, but at the same time, touched, overwhelmed, and thankful for Krishna to have protected them. Indra then came to Krishna, offered his prayers, and sought his forgiveness. Many composers, many poets have glorified this divine Leela of Krishna. Purandar Dasa has composed the Govinda Namo, Govinda Narayana, Govardhana Giriya Nettida Govinda. Meerabai's Ankitam or insignia or mudra has always been Meera Ke Prabhu Giridharanagar. The Leela was so wonderful, so adbhutam, that poets such as Vedanta Desikar has created verses in just 2 or 3 syllables as wonderful as Krishna. Sri Sri Anna, in his Govinda Kathamritam, has penned some similar verses with just 2 or 3 syllables, saluting the 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana. Gotragatram, 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 Aham Bhaje, Gotragatram, 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 Aham Bhaje. There are 6 Gotragatrams. The first Go means Veda scriptures or Veda Vachana. Tra means to protect. So Gotra is to protect the Veda scriptures. So the avatara that was born to protect the Vedas, the Veda scripture, was the Matsya Avatara. The second Go indicates the protection of the Bhumi. So the second Gotragatram indicates the avataram that was born to protect the Bhumi, that is the Varaha Avatara. Go also means Malai or mountain, the Mantra Malai. The avataram that bore the weight of the Mantramala itself on his shoulders was the Kurma avatar. The fourth go indicates Satyavachanam, true verse, true words. In order to protect the true words of Prahlada, Narasimha incarnated. The fifth Gotragatram is a combination of Bhumi Paripalanam, Pashu Paripalanam, or protection of the cows, indicating the Rama Avataram, Krishna Avataram, and Balram Avataram. The last Gotragatram also indicates the protection of the entire world, the entire Jagat, the Vamana Avataram, the Parshurama Avataram, and the Kalki Avataram, contributing to the same. Each of the divine pastimes of Krishna are not just mere mythological incidents, but a guiding light of wisdom for us. His story or history of Krishna is an open book with a message for each one of us at present day looking for peace and enlightenment. Krishna teaches us arts, science, literature, philosophies, morals, dharma, shastra, Atmavidya, and so many more. Each of these lessons are relevant even to the present day. Krishna is an embodiment of knowledge, is the essence of all Vedic scriptures, and thus a beacon for all of us, making him the supreme guru, supreme preceptor, the Jagat Guru. As rightly said, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Before I wind up, I would like to thank my Guru, Srimati Vishaka Manni, to have the confidence in me and for giving me the bhagyam to say a few words of Krishna. I would like to also thank Vijayashri School of Harikatha for constantly helping us and motivating us. I would like to thank Advaita Academy and Adhyatma Yoga for providing all of us this opportunity to speak about the Leelas of Lord Shri Krishna. Lastly, my pranams to all the learned speakers of this August gathering. We will conclude with a Mangalam penned by Shri Shri Anna. Nanda Gopalate Mangalam Navanita Chorate Mangalam Vandaru Janagana Vandara Varita Sundara Swarupa Mangalam Kaliya Vanaranga Pragatita Nartana Kamsadi Martana Mangalam Brahmadi Suragana Pujita Charana Premika Priyate Mangalam Nanda Gopalate Mangalam Navanita Chorate Mangalam Nanda Gopalate Mangalam Mangalam. Thank you, Radhe Krishna.
Radhe Krishna. Again, in continuation with yesterday's Harikatha, where Aradhana Anand took us to Gokulam and made us to experience the Bal Leelas of Krishna. From there, today Yogashri had taken us to Vrindavanam, which is the Nija Dhama of Shri Krishna, where we could experience more of his Leelas, which are more heartful, soulful to all the devotees of Krishna, especially the Kaliya Nardanam and Govardhanodharanam. Krishna's Leelas are Ananta, which cannot be comprehended or compressed within the short span of time. However, even one Leela, if we take and delve into it, that's Krishnanubhavam, Krishnanandam that we can do. That's how Leela Shuka or all the great Bhagavadottamas, Narayana Tirtha and everybody have taken one Leelas. Uthukadu, Venkatakavi, only the Kaliya Nardana Leela itself was enough for him to spend his whole lifetime on it. So, in fact, as usual, the feedbacks from all the participants who are attending is overwhelming. And as usual, it could be only that overwhelming because that we are hearing from the students of Vijayashri School of Harikatha, from our great Guru, Srimati Vishaka Harimani, and how else it could be. And Yogashri is presenting this Harikatha from far off from Canada. It's almost so early in the morning for her, but still she has taken up to be present, and the wonderful musical melody it could be. Music that there are many who could sing, but the devotion what she adds to is what it matters. And aptly quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam it could be, or the Govinda Kathamritam of Sri Anna, and the wonderful Kuvinaya of that also that she brought and she presented. And on behalf of all of us from Advaita Academy, Adhyatma Yoga, and all the devoted souls of Shri Krishna who are all watching this, my pranams, gratitude to Yogashri Bharat today, and also to Vijayashri School of Harikatha and our Guru Srimati Vishaka Mani. And when she was singing the Govardhana Leela as well as Kalina, today only almost it's as if I had a pratyaksha darshana of it. I'll just share you all the video. Govind Krishnadas Prabhu is already waiting. With his permission, I would like to share that in Bangalore we have a beautiful temple of Govardhana Kshetra in Puttike Math in Basavangudi. I'm sure many of you must have seen this. Please do watch. If not,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna is holding the Govardhan, you can see there.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Rama Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
This is the beautiful temple of Govardhan, Giridhari in Bangalore that we have, Govardhana Kshetra. Once you go there, you will feel as if you are in the real Pratyaksha Govardhan Giri. And that's a beautiful temple. If anybody have not visited, please do go. Just today I had been there, and this is the video which I could take from there. And when I come back here, I'm hearing the Govardhan Leela from Yogashri. I'm really overwhelmed that Krishna is blessing us all. Thank you, Yogashri and Vijayashri School of Harikatha. And now we move on to the next important talk of today, the invited guest talk from a very energetic youth motivational speaker from, again, Kurukshetra. Yogashri took us to Vrindavan, and now we are moving to Kurukshetra, which is Dharmakshetra. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetra as the Srimad Bhagavad Gita starts. And here an ever energetic, inspiring youth, Shri Govinda Krishnadas. Today we heard of the Govinda Pattabhishekam from Govinda Kathamritam that Yogashri presented. Again, Govinda in another form, Govinda Krishnadas Prabhu is here with us, who is going to present us on the topic of Shri Krishna, the real hero of the youths. So when I see him being a youth, and always whenever I log into the Facebook, the first thing that I would be looking into is not to my post, how many likes that I have got, but I would look into what video, what post that Govinda Krishnadas Prabhu has put today from Kurukshetra. That is how he had been always bringing in wonderful videos and inspiring all of us. And I welcome Govinda Krishnadas Prabhu to please come and raise us while I introduce him. Achala, please stop the screen. I welcome Govinda. He is joining us from Kurukshetra, which is the Dharmakshetra, which is the place from where Shri Krishna has brought Bhagavad Gita. And Govinda Krishnadas Prabhu has been leading devotees, especially the youth, through wonderful motivation sessions. He can do excellent Krishna Katha as well. And very inspiring messages that he keeps coming from the social media. He has basically done his Gurukula education. I think the sound is echoing from there, Prabhuji. Yes. So he is what basically done is still there's a problem with the sound there. It's echoing from your end, Prabhuji.
I can't hear what he's saying.
Itai Prabhu, can you check please? Yes. Again, it's echoing. I think you're in two devices, so there may be a problem or something.
Hare Krishna, am I audible? If someone can please tell me.
You're audible, but again, there is a echoing which is happening.
I think he has to mute in the laptop that he has
If
opened.
you may please tell me if I'm audible and if I'm clear, then I will start this session.
I can hear you very clearly. Very clearly.
Yes. So let me once again, finish the introduction with Prabhu. So
it's my great privilege, and I take this honor, and I'm filled with gratitude right now. And I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Adhyatma Yoga Academy, Advaita Academy, for having me over in this wonderful event of the global Festival of Divinity in Humanity, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, wherein all of you and we all are trying to share the universal principle, the universal teachings, the universal message of Sri Krishna. You'll be very glad to know, and you'll be very happy to know that right now I am speaking from the exact spot, exact land where Sri Krishna, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, spoke his celestial song, the Bhagavad Gita. It's just 2 minutes away from me, 2 minutes walk, where Sri Krishna actually stood and spoke the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. I am from the land of Bhagavad Gita. Dharmakshetra Kurukshetra samaveta yutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata sanjaya, as Prabhuji was rightly mentioning. So I pay my pranams to all the devotees present who are listening to me. I would like to start this session by saying the Mangala Charan and paying my pranams to my Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Vaishnava Acharyas, so that I may speak the right words at the right time without offending anyone. And I thank Adhyatma Yoga for this wonderful introduction of mine. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So as Prabhuji was rightly mentioning, and he was, again and again emphasizing on the point that Govind Krishna Das Prabhu is a youth and he's preaching, in a youth style, and he's like dropping videos and doing a lot of things on Facebook. Well, I would just like to tell all of you, Krishna is Navayovanamcha. Krishna never increases. He never goes beyond the age of 16. Krishna is 16 years old. You will never ever see even one single picture of Krishna where he's old or where he has, scars on his face or when he's sad. No, Krishna is 16 years old, Navayovanamcha, always smiling, holding his flute, and always youthful. And Arjuna, to the one who he spoke Bhagavad Gita, is he old? He is also young. Arjuna is young, Krishna is young. So why not the people, those who take up to Krishna consciousness, those who take up to spirituality, why should we wait till our old age? Why should we wait till our ears don't hear properly? Then we have to put some machine in the ears. Why do we wait till our legs don't हमारा साथ नहीं देते हैं, हमारी टांगें हमारी साथ नहीं देते हैं. We get old, we can't walk, we can't dance in kirtan. This is the right age, as we say, abhi nahi to kabhi nahi. So I'd like to start with the Mangala Charan. Please, if anyone knows the mantras, you can please chant along with me. It's going to be a very fascinating, amazing session. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप ददामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वंशकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुमेव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। Now, I would request everyone to please chant the Maha Mantra with me. Whoever is watching me through Facebook, on YouTube, or in a Zoom meeting, or through webinar, just fold your hands, or you could raise your hands, or you could clap, but please sing the Maha Mantra with me. Come on, let's do this together. And they had also requested me that I play little Mridangam. So I have brought Mridanga also for you. Let's do a small sweet kirtan together. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You cannot cheat me. I'm telling you, I can see you. Even though I cannot see you, but still I can see you. Please pick up your hands and clap with me. Get some energy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, गोविंद मेरो है, गोपाल मेरो है, राधे राधे राधे, गोविंद राधे, राधे राधे, गोविंद राधे, राधे राधे राधे, राधे राधे राधे, वृंदावन में, ओ वृंदावन में, you have to say राधे राधे, वृंदावन में राधे राधे, गोवर्धन में राधे राधे, रामकुंड में राधे राधे, राधे राधे, राधे राधे, राधे राधे, राधे राधे, राधे श्री राधे, राधे राधे राधे, जय जय 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 श्री राधे। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। Thank you very much for participating in the kirtan. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. All right. So today's topic is Krishna, the superhero for the youth, right? Well, very interesting topic, and I thank the organizers for giving me this topic. If you see nowadays, all the youth, especially in India, everyone, every single youth adores either Hollywood stars, either Bollywood stars, or Tollywood stars, or Zollywood stars. Every single youth is like, oh my God, I wish I become like Rajnikanta, Randa Raska minded, right? Someone wants to become like Bahubali. Someone wants to become like Hrithik Roshan. Someone wants six packs like Salman Khan, right? So everyone, or the girls, adore Deepika Padukone. I wish I can become like Deepika. I also want the figure that she has. Someone is trying to make her, the color complexion like Kareena Kapoor. So the youth nowadays adores what? Bollywood stars, Hollywood stars. Well, Srimad Bhagavatam, or the scriptures, and also the most important saints and sects have told us who is actually the true hero and who is the supreme hero. It's not only you and I who follow Krishna as supreme. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. No. I would like to make a point very clear. Shri Ramanujacharya ji, Shri Pada Shankaracharya ji, what does he sing? He sings, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mudamate, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mudamate. Shri Pad Shankaracharya ji, even he's saying, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. My dear, if you have even little bit of brains, please sing the glories of Govinda. Please sing the glories of Krishna. So Ramanujacharya, or Shri Pada Shankaracharya ji, or Shri Madhva Acharya ji, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, anyone, if you see, apart from, Brahma Gaudi Vaishnava Sampradaya, they are also singing the glories of Shri Krishna, and they also state that Krishna is the supreme hero. Okay, I would like to ask a question over here. What qualities do you see in a superhero? So when you see a superhero, or when you think someone to be the superhero in your mind, what is the first thing that comes in your mind? That my superhero, say Spider-Man or Superman or Iron Man or Captain America or Hulk or Thor. There's different types of superheroes for the youth. So what is that? There are a couple of qualities that we will discuss. So one quality that comes in mind is power. My superhero is so powerful. See how he so easily defeated the enemy. You will see how Hulk is so powerful and Iron Man has his powers and every character has their own power. You see Rajnikanta. Namaskara, since I'm talking in Bangalore right now. Rajnikanta, when they show in films, with all due respect to him, what he does is, so now if there are two villains, okay, they're fighting with Rajnikanta, and Rajnikant needs to kill both of them, but he only has one bullet. Now you see the power of Rajnikant. What will he do? Only one bullet. You shot the bullet and the bullet is flying now. But there are two people to kill. How will Rajnikant kill it? How will Rajnikant kill them? So what Rajnikant will do, because he's so powerful now. So what he'll do, he'll take out a knife. He will take out a knife. He will throw a knife. Now the bullet is going behind the knife. Sorry. The knife will defeat the speed of the bullet. The knife defeats the speed of the bullet. You know what happens? Youth nowadays, they are what they see in real life. Real life means picture. Movies में जो दिखाया जा रहा है, जो real life में दिखाया जा रहा है, वो अपनी real life में उसको उतारने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. They're trying to imbibe it in their real life. One is real life, real, okay, picture, and other is the real life. So what Rajnikant does is he shoots his his knife. The knife goes, it pierces the bullet. Knife pierces the bullet. The bullet comes in two pieces. And now, since Rajnikanta is the hero, what will happen? One bullet. Now the bullet got cut. It became two parts. One on the left, one on the right, and both of the villains are like that. Now my question to you is, whoever is listening to me, is this possible in real life? No, it is not possible in real life. Lot of things you will see Shah Rukh Khan, he's singing, and he's singing in Switzerland where there is so much cold, but he does not even have a sweater. And then Deepika Padukone she's coming running towards the love of his life. She's also not wearing sweater. She just has a nice sari, and he's singing in the voice of Sonu Nigam or Arjit Singh. What do you call it? Deepika Padukone is singing in the voice of Shreya Ghoshal. No one is sneezing. किसी को खांसी नहीं आ रही है, किसी का गला खराब नहीं है, किसी को ठंड नहीं लग रही है. Hero है ना, because they're heroes. Is this possible in real life? No, it is not possible. So my dear youth, whoever is listening to me, we need to identify who are actually our real heroes. The topic is Krishna, the superhero, the real hero of the youth. And I will prove it today towards this discussion as we, move forward, how Krishna is actually the superhero for all of us. Let's talk about power. How much power does Krishna have? Oh my God. When Krishna was only 6 years old, he killed Putana. Sirf 6 saal ke Krishna the, and he killed Putana. Putana came to, give poison to Krishna. Krishna, without even using any astra shastras, when he was only small child of 6 years, kills a very big demon called Putana. How powerful is Krishna? Krishna, when he was 3.5 years old, Krishna never gets old. Yet, when he was only 3.5 years old, he ate some mud. So his Maiya said, "Ere Lala, have you eaten mud?" Krishna says, "No, Maiya, I have not eaten any mud." She, still says, "No, open your mouth. I want to see what's in your mouth." Yashoda Maiya, as soon as she opens the mouth, Krishna shows the whole cosmic manifestation. Pura Brahmand, Shri Krishna ke muh mein, Bhagavan is showing to his mother. Which child, 3.5-year-old, can show the whole cosmic manifestation of the world? He cannot even show his own country. He cannot even show his own city. He cannot even show his own house. What to talk about the cosmic manifestation? Krishna, when he was 7 years old, for 7 days and 7 nights, picked up Shri Giriraj Govardhan. Right now, Adhyatma Yoga showed such nice darshans of Shri Giriraj Govardhan. Thank you so much for those beautiful darshans. Krishna, when he was only 7 years old, with his left hand, with a pinky finger, out of all the fingers, which is the most weak finger, it is the pinky finger. Krishna is trying to tell Indra, I am defeating you with the most weak energy, the most smallest energy of mine. I asked, is there any Bollywood, any Hollywood star who can pick up, who can even stand? I request them to only stand for 7 days and 7 nights. Don't pick up anything. When people go, when the youth goes in the gym to pick up weights, sometimes they're picking up weight, their face expression changes. Krishna is picking up a huge mountain, 22 kilometers mountain. When you do parikrama, half of the people get tired. They start sitting in auto rickshaw. They take a tanga. They say, no, half we did today, half next time when I come to Vrindavan, I will complete it. So it's not so easy. Govardhan Shri Krishna picked up when he was only 7 years old for 7 days and 7 nights. What else? A lot of the youth want to go to dance party, hit the dance floor. Krishna's dance floor is Kaliya. Can you imagine any hero dancing on the hood of a snake? As soon as you hear the name of a snake, or as soon as you snake ko to chhod do, jaise hum chipkali dekhte hain, as soon as you see a lizard, we freak out. Krishna is dancing on the 99 hoods of Kaliya. My God, can you imagine? That is his dancing floor. And Kaliya is beating out venom, poison. Yet Krishna is very mercifully, with a very beautiful smile on his face, dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. That is superhero. Krishna, how powerful is he? He brought back the child of his Guru Maharaj, Sandipani Muni, who had died. Yamaraj had taken him. Yet, Sandipani Muni, his Guru Maharaj, asked for his Guru Dakshina. Krishna went to Yamaloka and said, give me back my Guru Maharaj's child. So Krishna brought back the dead. He brought back the dead to his Guru Maharaj. Who can bring back the dead? Who can make the dead alive? It is only your superhero, our superhero, the real hero, the true hero, who is Shri Krishna. All right, point number 2. I'm going to be sharing 6 points and I'm going to ask you in the last, what all did you hear? Number 1 is that Krishna is the most powerful. Okay? So any hero should be powerful, but no hero can compare the power of Sri Krishna. Number 2 is, Krishna is, whenever you see a hero, we think our hero to be very beautiful, right? Very handsome. Excuse me, there is no person more handsome, more stylish than Sri Krishna. How do I say that? There are so many bhajans which sing the glories, the beauty of Sri Krishna. For example, Adharam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Chalitam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Chalitam Madhuram Madhura Vipate Akhilam Madhuram. Krishna's smile, Krishna's walk, Krishna's talk, Krishna's eyelids, Krishna's lips, Krishna's cheeks, everything about Sri Krishna is most beautiful. How sweet, how beautiful is Krishna? Lord Brahma is stating in the Brahma Samhita. What does he say? Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I pay my pranams to that Govinda, that Sri Krishna, whose beauty cannot be compared to crores of Cupid, of Kamdev. If you take crore of Kamdev and you see how beautiful Kamdev is, oh my God, Kamdev is like, you will forget about the most beautiful girl, the most beautiful model in this world, all right? There are like Marilyn Monroe and different actresses, who are considered extremely beautiful. You would know better names than me, right? Kamdev is like, he's beauty personified. Brahmaji is saying, crore Kamdev's beauty does not even come a tinge close to the lotus feet, to the beauty of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna's toe. Not even toe, his toe tip. That is how, no one can compare the beauty of Krishna. Namashama sundaram achintya guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. Krishna or Shama Sundar's guna, his beauty is achintya. No one can comprehend, no one can even think how beautiful Sri Krishna is, And what else? Lord Shiva, Bhagavan Shivji, Shankar, Adi Yogi, who is always sitting in meditation, even he falls for the beauty of Sri Krishna. Kitne sundar hai hamare Shama Sundar Krishna, that Mahadev, that Lord Shiva starts running toward behind Sri Krishna when he takes the form of Mohini Rupa. Even Lord Shiva, he becomes fascinated towards the beauty of Sri Krishna. Lord Vishnu steals the son of a Brahmana to have darshans of Sri Krishna. Why? Because Krishna will not come to Vishnu Loka like that. There's a very long leela, I'm just cutting it short. Lord Vishnu stole the, child of a Brahmana. The Brahmana complained to Krishna. Krishna went in search of the child. He went to Brahma. Brahma didn't have him. He went to Lord Shiva. Shiva did not have him. He went to Yamraj. Yamraj said, I don't have him. Then who else? He went to Lord Vishnu. Vishnu said, my dear Krishna, I wanted to take your darshans, your beautiful darshans. You would never come to my loka. This is all stated in our scriptures. What else? How beautiful is Krishna? The gopis in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Once Lord Vishnu came in Vrindavan Dham, they turned their head. We don't want to see Lord Vishnu. What is this four-hand guy? We want to see this Shyama Sundar, if it is visible in the camera. How beautiful Krishna is. Ghanashyam is one name of Sri Krishna. His color is like clouds. And how soft is Krishna? Like the bubbles of when the milk is evaporating, those bubbles that come on the top. That is how soft Krishna is. Even more soft than a wet cotton. Cotton is soft, but when it becomes wet, it becomes even more soft. That is how soft our darling Sri Krishna is. Okay, so let's move forward. And our heroes, or we consider any person who's extremely intelligent. Wow, इतना दिमाग है यार, so that captures our attention. Anyone who's very intelligent, or the topper in your school, in your class, the topper of your city or your country, any person who's very intelligent, like say Albert Einstein or say Swami Vivekananda, very intelligent people, so they attract us. So any person who's intelligent attracts us. He becomes our hero. Who is more intelligent than Shri Krishna? I would humbly ask you. Krishna says in the Gita that buddhi buddhimatam cha asmi. I am the intelligence in the intelligent. And Krishna did not only say it, he proved it. Just in 1 hour, Lord Shri Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, all these shlokas. There was no rewind button. There was no pause button. Excuse me, alright? No rewind, no pause button. Just as it is. Krishna goes on. Bhuktaram jagatam sarvalokam aishwaram suritam sarvabhutanam gyatvam mam shantim vrikshati sarvadharman parityajamam ekam sharanam braja tvam sarvapapibhyo mokshami masucha matta paratanam na anyatinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam vidam proktam sutri mane gane eva am sarvasya prabhu matta sarvapravatati kiti matva bhrante mam buddha bhavam samarpita. So many shlokas, Krishna going on and on and on. Arjuna is saying, Krishna, just 1 minute, let me just understand the previous shloka. How intelligent is Krishna? Right now, Bhagavad Gita, the same Bhagavad Gita that Krishna spoke without any flaw, without any editing, without any pause, without any rewind. Scholars, very, very big scholars, are still cracking their brains. We are trying right now to share knowledge about the universal teaching of Sri Krishna, which is the Bhagavad Gita. I am in Kurukshetra right now. I am speaking from the land of Bhagavad Gita. We have Kurukshetra University. Every year at the time of Gita Jayanti, there are scholars coming from around the world, and there are like 7-day sessions. People are trying to discuss on the Gita, trying to understand and evaluate Bhagavad Gita. Spoken, sung 5,000 years ago. Still, people are cracking their brains, trying to understand even one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. How intelligent would Sri Krishna be? That Bhagavad Gita has now been translated in more than 80 languages. There is Chinese Bhagavad Gita, there is Italian Bhagavad Gita, there is Jewish Bhagavad Gita, there is Punjabi Bhagavad Gita, there is Malayalam Bhagavad Gita, there is Telugu Bhagavad Gita. So many languages, so many people are trying to understand Gita. Mr. Albert Einstein, the great scientist, says, when I opened the Bhagavad Gita for the first time, I could understand how actually the functions and the laws of the world work. When Isaac Newton opened the Bhagavad Gita, you all know about Isaac Newton, don't you? Mr. Isaac Newton, the great scientist, he said, as soon as I opened and I started reading the Bhagavad Gita, I felt like a small child. I felt like a small baby standing on the seashore and counting some small pebbles. Right now, my knowledge is like small pebbles. But after reading Bhagavad Gita, I could understand that there is so much vast knowledge that I still need to know. Mr. Albert Einstein, Mr. Isaac Newton, scientist fraternity, Mr. Mahatma Gandhiji, the father of our nation, he says, whenever doubts haunt me, whenever I'm in some sort of anxiety and worry, I take shelter in Bhagavad Gita. Can you imagine? Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years back. Still, look at the impact. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji says, there is not a better gift. People do not have a better gift to gift anyone than the Bhagavad Gita. I don't have a better gift to give you, and you do not have a better gift to receive than the Bhagavad Gita. This is the core of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And of course, a lot of you must have read this book called the 7 Habits of Effective People. Stephen Covey, this very renowned author, he says, I've taken all my content from the Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatha Roop Ki Jai. So no one can comprehend the intelligence of Sri Krishna, how he very smartly and very casually spoke the glories, his song, the Bhagavad Gita. So anyone who's a superhero has to be intelligent, and there is no one who's more intelligent than Sri Krishna, because Sri Krishna says in Gita, Natvam evam jatu nasham, Natvam evam janatima, na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve mataparam. Arjuna, I know the past, I know the present, and I know the future. How intelligent is Krishna? We do not even know what's going to happen to us, and to us next second. Krishna knows the past, Krishna knows the present, Krishna knows the future. Who can be more smart, more intelligent than Sri Krishna? Right. Moving towards my third point. Any superhero, any Bollywood, any Hollywood, any Tollywood actor that you admire has to be famous. How many followers do I have on Facebook? How many subscribers have I got on my YouTube channel? Everyone is in that, run, in that race of becoming famous. And there are so many superstars, so many superheroes who have become famous, who have been famous. But let me just tell you, the fame in material life diminishes, it deteriorates. There was once a time when everyone adored, everyone worshipped Kapil Dev, that great cricketer, right? Now no one even hardly remembers Kapil Dev. After Kapil Dev came a name called Sachin Tendulkar. When Sachin Tendulkar used to bat, the whole nation used to stop and look in admiration. Oh my God, Sachin, 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 right? People used to stop eating. People used to stop breathing practically. Yet, now people have forgotten Sachin Tendulkar, with all due respect to all these wonderful names. Then came Mahendra Singh Dhoni, right? The helicopter shot. My God, Mahendra Singh Dhoni got us World Cup after so many years. Oh my God, Dhoni!
Your screen went away.
Dhoni! Right? Long hair guy.
Govind Krishnadas Prabhu, your screen.
Captain Cool, right? So many glories, so much fame, so much fan base, people going mad, crazy. And yet, a few days back, Mr. Mahendra Singh Dhoni says, I am retiring. Yet, people also started forgetting Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Now came in Virat Kohli. Now, Virat Kohli with his smart look, with his spiky hairs, with his lean body. As soon as he holds the bat, and you should know for sure it's gonna go for a 6. Oh my God, there's another 4 on the boundary. Now people are mad after Virat Kohli. People forgot Kapil Dev. People forgot Sachin Tendulkar. People forgot Mahendra Singh Dhoni. People will in the future also forget Virat Kohli. Change is the biggest constant in this material world. Everything, fame, whatever fame you have today, you and I have, all those Bollywood stars, all those Hollywood stars, their fame will decrease one day or the other. But our Sri Krishna, our superhero, his fame never decreases. What to talk about his fame? People are becoming famous just singing his songs. So you're listening to me from South India, you should know for the fact, very famous, popular Prabhat. As you all must be knowing, as soon as Sri Venkateshwar Balaji wakes up in the morning, the first thing he listens to is this Sri Venkateshwar Suprabhat, sung by M.S. Subbulakshmi. How famous is she? Why is she famous? Because she sang the glories of Sri Krishna. She became so glorious. Let's sing for 2 minutes, okay? Since you all are from South India. Venkateshwara Govinda, Matsya Kurmaha Govinda, Vara Parshurama Govinda, Rama Kalki Hari Govinda, Govinda Hari Govinda, Govinda Hari Govinda, Venkataramana Govinda, Govinda Hari Govinda, Venkateshwara Hari Govinda. M.S. Subbulakshmi becomes famous just by singing the glories of Shri Krishna. And you must have heard this bhajan also. O jaga mein sundar hai do naam, do naam, do naam, do naam. O jaga mein sundar hai do naam, chahe Krishna kaho ya Ram. Bolo Ram, Ram, Ram. Bolo Shyam, Shyam, Shyam. became very famous just by singing the chorus. The great legend, the late who just passed away, Sri Pandit Jasraj ji, the great legend, when he used to sing, Govinda Damodaram Madhaveti, He Krishna He Adava He Sakayati, Govinda Damodaram Madhaveti. So all these names who have sung the glorious bhajans of Sri Krishna have become very famous. What to talk about singers? Those who act becoming Krishna. Nitish ji, that famous actor who became Krishna in the Mahabharata, so famous. That devotee who became Lord Ram in the Ramayana, in the famous Ramayana. People used to worship him as Ram. When he used to come in some audience, people used to pay pranams. People used to try to touch his feet. They are not even Krishna. Someone is just singing bhajans of Krishna, yet he's becoming so famous. Imagine how famous Krishna would be. Have you heard anyone who steals? जो कोई चोरी करता है, वो famous हो जाता है? No. He's punished. Krishna steals butter. He's called as Makhan Chor. Krishna, when he runs from the battlefield, he's called Ran Chor. He becomes famous just by running from the battlefield. If you run from any battlefield, will you become famous? No, people will make fun of you. How can such a person be famous? Krishna, when he runs from the battlefield, he becomes famous. Krishna, how famous is he? Krishna, when he sleeps, people come to worship him in the form of Padmanabh Swami, in the form of Sri Ranganath Swami, right? You must be knowing. Krishna, how famous is he? When he sits down to eat, he becomes famous as Lord Jagannath, because Jagannath he eats and eats in Jagannath Puri. How famous is Krishna? When he lifts the Govardhan hill, people worship him as Srinathji. How famous is Sri Krishna? When he stands on a brick, पत्थर पे जब वो खड़े हो जाते हैं, holding his hand on the waist, waiting for his devotee Pundrik, he becomes famous and worshipped as Shri Hari Vitthala, Panduranga Vitthala. So no one can even come tinge close to Sri Krishna's fame. He came 5,000 years ago, yet still we are singing the glories of Sri Krishna. These superstars, their glories for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 50 years, no one's glories is sung till 5,000 years. Janmashtami comes. Devotees of Krishna are celebrating in China. Right now, we have 10,000 devotees of Krishna in China. When they put Bhoga Arpanam to Krishna, he does not have spoon. He has chopsticks. Krishna is eating by chopsticks in China. 10,000 devotees. In Russia, there are devotees who are worshipping Krishna. In Islamic countries, there are people who are worshipping Krishna. That is how famous Krishna is. Our Bahubali, Salman Khan. Does anyone know Salman Khan in, a Jewish country? Is anyone worshipping Salman Khan? Is anyone worshipping Rajnikanta right now in Italy? Waking up 4:30 in the morning, worshipping Rajnikant ji. Anyone worshipping Hrithik Roshan, getting up in the morning 4:30? No one. Krishna is worshipped by millions of people all around the globe. No one can come close to the fame of your superhero, your true hero, who is Sri Krishna. So how many points did we cover? We covered about the beauty of Sri Krishna. We covered about the intelligence of Sri Krishna. We covered about the power of Sri Krishna. And now we have covered about, or we will cover the point of how Krishna is extremely, extremely wise. Renunciate. You will never find in the world any person who has fame and who has power. So these two are a very deadly combination. Anyone who has fame and anyone who has power, he can never be humble. He will never be humble. But Sri Krishna, he is most powerful and he is most famous. Yet he is so humble. He is so grounded. He is so wise. Why do I say that? Because even though being the controller, the proprietor of the whole cosmic manifestation. That's why one of his name is Jagannath, the controller of the universe. Yet, Krishna becomes the charioteer of Arjuna. Can you imagine? Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, who has so much power, so much fame, he becomes servant of Arjuna. Arjuna used to kick Krishna because when you are fighting in the battlefield, in the battle of Mahabharata, there was no time to tell Krishna, go left, go right. So Arjuna used to kick Krishna on his back. On the left side, that means go on the left. When he used to kick Krishna on the right side of the back, that means go on the right. Krishna used to tolerate the kicks of Arjuna. When the horses, they used to run in the battlefield, it is said Krishna used to drive Arjuna's chariot so fast that it never touched the ground. So the horses used to run so fast that their feet used to throw so much sand on the face of Sri Krishna. At the end of the day, Krishna could not even recognize his face. It used to be filled with sand and mud. He tolerated all of that because he loved his devotee Arjuna. Krishna, being the supreme personality of Godhead, the most top superhero, falls in the lotus feet of his dear friend Sudama. He gets up from his Vyasasan, his throne, washes the lotus feet of his friend. Which superhero will you find in this material world? You think Hrithik Roshan, you think Salman Khan, such heroes will wash your feet? Never. You think they will become your driver? Never will that happen. It is impossible. Never will you see that day. Krishna becomes the guard, the bodyguard of Bali Maharaj. He stands like a small mere guard because his devotee wants to see him every day when he goes out of his house. Krishna stands like a bodyguard. Yes, I will follow your instructions. Krishna waits for his devotee Pundrik on a stone, on a very small stone. When someone comes, say some VIP comes in your home, you will give him the best seat to sit in the house. Pundrik through that stone. Sit, Krishna, sit on this stone. I am just serving my parents. It will take some time. Krishna very, quietly waits for his devotee. The supreme controller of the universe is controlled by the love of his devotees. There's a very important point I want to tell all of you. I want to share. If you want to see the character of any person, how will you judge his character? It is said, you can judge his character by seeing, even though he has power and he's famous, but you see how humble he is, how grounded he is. If even after having power and fame, if that person, that individual is very humble, very grounded, is always looking to serve and not to rule, you should know for the fact that this person is a true gentleman. Your richness, your opulence is not determined by the assets you have or the bank balance you have in your, accounts. It's by the service attitude, by your humility that you possess will actually make you wise and opulent. And last but not the least, Krishna is most opulent. That means there is no one who is more opulent, who has more wealth than Sri Krishna. So anyone who is very wealthy attracts our attention. Mr. Ambaniji, Mr. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, or the owner of Amazon. All these people are extremely rich, right? And they also attract our attention. But no one is more rich than Krishna. How do I say that? You see, Krishna on his chest wears the Kaustubh money. So there is something called the Paras money, there is something called Chinta money, but there is Kaustubh money, which is the origin of both of this. Paras money is such a money stone that whatever it touches becomes gold. Imagine. So there are people who have had Paras money. Sanatan Goswami had a Paras money. And then there is Chintamani. Chintamani is such a stone that whenever someone touches it, all his chinta, all his worries, all his anxieties, stress, depression goes within a second. But Krishna has Kastubamani that he wears in his chest. Okay, Kastubamani is the origin of Parasmani and Chintamani. Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna also has, a Samyatak jewel, which was given by Jambavan. Samyatak money is such a money that increases, it's a gold coin that increases its number of gold coins per second in millions. No one can even count it. So Krishna has such type of Samyatak money. And what to talk about all these small examples? Krishna is he's the controller of all the demigods. He states, "Aham adir devanam." Ye sabhi devi devtaएं mere hi adi hai. So Kuber, the demigod who is the ruler of the treasury department, is the servant of Sri Krishna. There is no one more opulent than Sri Krishna. You should know for the fact the temple of Sri Padmanabh Swami, which is the most wealthiest and richest temple in the world. We should know for the fact the temple of Tirupati Balaji, Krishna or Lord Vishnu is filled with the opulence. No one can even come close to the opulence of Sri Krishna. And of course, there is no one who is more renunciate than Krishna. You will see so many superstars who have fame, who have power, who have beauty, who have wealth, who have intelligence, but they will not have renunciation. Renunciation means they will not leave it if you tell them to leave it. Will they leave their fame? Will they leave their power? There's so much fight going on for just a seat, chair. The politicians want the chair, kursi chahiye, power chahiye. Krishna is such a big renunciate. He leaves Vrindavan in 11 years and 56 days. Why? Because I have to go to Mathura, I have to go to Dwarka, I have to go to Kurukshetra to establish Dharma. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papino mokshitami machta. I have to go to establish Dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. So Krishna, a lot of people ask this question: why did Krishna leave the gopis? Why did Krishna leave Vrindavan? Why did Krishna leave Radharani? He left all his comfort zone for higher purposes, to save Dharma. He renounces everything. Krishna renounces his big status and becomes the charioteer of Arjuna. Krishna renounces his kingly opulence in front of his citizens who are looking at him washing the lotus feet of Sudama. So there is no big hero. No hero will want to leave his power, want to leave his fame. It is only Sri Krishna, after having such opulence, so much fame, so much beauty, so much intelligence, so much power, yet he is the biggest renunciate. And while I quote all these points, I would like to quote this through a shloka which has been quoted by Prashar Muni, who is the father of Srila Veda Vyasji. Veda Vyasji is the one who has given us all these scriptures, right? All our Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Athura Veda, and all our Puranas, Upuranas, everything has been given by Srila Veda Vyasji. His father Prashar Muni is saying, what is he saying? Who is the superhero, the topmost hero who will never let you down, who will never leave you, who will always love you? You will never be betrayed by this hero. He says, Aishwarasya samagrasya virasya yashasriya jnana vairagyascheva sansanam bhang itinganam. That Lord Sri Krishna is the topmost hero who has the 6 opulences in full in one time. There are some people who are very famous. Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson was not beautiful. He had to do plastic surgery, right? He was not beautiful, but he was famous. There are some people who are very wealthy, but they are not famous, but they are not beautiful. Mr. Ambani ji, he's very wealthy, but he's not that beautiful. Thoda sa chubby si hai hamare Ambani sahab. And say there are a lot of people who have power, but they are not renunciate. A lot of people who have very much power, you tell them to leave that kursi, leave that power, they do not want to leave that power. Prashad Muniji say, Sri Krishna is such a superhero who has all these 6 opulences, beauty, he has fame, he has strength, he has intelligence, he has power, and he has renunciation. All 6 opulences. Aishwarasya samagrasya virasya yashasya jnana vairagyasya sansanam bhangite. In one time, Krishna has all these qualities. That is why, in my vision, there is no one who comes even a little bit close to become a superhero as Sri Krishna. So my dear youth devotees, and all of those devotees who are listening to me online right now through YouTube, through Facebook, please remember, our superhero, our true hero is Sri Krishna. He has not even said it, he's proved it through his wonderful, beautiful leelas. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. Hari is Ananta. There is no limit to Hari and there is no limit to his beautiful pastimes. Everything about Krishna is just magnanimous. So I would like to conclude over here and would again like to extend my deepest gratitude and thanks to Adhyatma Yoga Academy, Advaita Yoga Academy, and all the wonderful, all the exalted speakers who have already spoken before me or who will be speaking after me. I would pay my pranams to all of them, all the viewers, all the audience, all my friends who have been listening to me from such a long time. I pay my pranams to you. Please forgive me for any offenses, any mistakes. Remember always, Krishna is our superhero. He's the most famous. He's the most powerful. He's the most intelligent. He's the most renunciate. He's the most beautiful. There is no one and there will no one be like Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So thank you very much. If Adhyatma Yoga ji would like to speak something, if there is any personal request that you want me to serve you, I am at your service. I would like to conclude by singing the Maha Mantra. Please, everyone, raise your hands up in the air and please sing with me and chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala, Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala, Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala, Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Mera Murali Manohar Nandalala, Mera Murali Manohar Nandalala, Govinda Govinda Gopala, Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Jai Jai Sri Ram. I just remembered that I wanted to share with you a small video, if I have permission. A small video I would like to share. I am speaking from the land of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. So it was Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON Society. It was his dream to have a very beautiful Krishna Arjun temple at the very same spot where Sri Krishna spoke the Gita. So the whole world can come and take darshans and also learn the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This temple will not only be a temple, We're also making a university. We're also making a college that will teach the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. We're going to make what we call a very beautiful library that will have all the Vedic scriptures that students can come and take PhD degrees of Bhagavad Gita. This will be an extraordinary temple in the shape of a chariot. We're showing pictures. Okay. As you can see, the pictures are on the line. It is going to be in the form of a chariot, horses, wheels, like Krishna is going in the battlefield to fight and taking Arjuna along. So now we'll show you a small clip, and I would request all of you to please see how our temple is under construction. Please have a look at this small clip from the land of Bhagavad Gita.
Please, you can share the video, Prabhu. If you are not able to see the video, you can share the video.
Yes, yes, we are just doing it. Please just pardon us for 1 minute.
Friends, we have been hearing Bhagavan Krishna's Prabhu, so he will be sharing with us about the beautiful temple work which is happening on behalf of ISKCON at Kurukshetra. It's led by Sri Sakshi Gopal Das Prabhu, who is the president of ISKCON at Kurukshetra, whose blessed son is Sri Govind Krishna Das Prabhu. And usually, when we think of Krishna, we think of Krishna and Balram together, the brothers. So when we see Govind Krishna Das Prabhu, also he has a beautiful devotee brother, Sri Atul Krishna Das Prabhu. Also, both of them together, they really rock with Krishna Bhakti and bringing a lot of energy to a lot of youngsters. Govind Krishna Das Prabhu has also done his MBA, and in spite of all his other professional careers, options that he would have had, he opted to choose Krishna Bhakti and then do the pracharam. And the whole family is dedicated for Krishna's mission, Srila Prabhupada's mission, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, and they are taking the lead. And it's a must visit for all of us when the situation gets all right. Let's all plan to go to Kurukshetra, which is the Dharmakshetra of Krishna, and go and visit there, this beautiful temple which is coming up. They would be sharing the video now. Yeah.
Prabhuji, is the video, can you see the video?
No. You have to keep it open. You have to keep it open on your desktop, then do the screen share. Okay. Then it will start. Keep it open on your desktop, from wherever you are doing it, and then go to share screen. Earlier we were seeing the picture of it. Now you can open it and do the share screen, and then it will play.
All right. Okay. My team is on it. So until it doesn't come on the screen, I just want to share with all of you that, so whenever we talk about temples, there are a lot of people who ask these questions, why do we need to donate to temples? Or why can't we just donate to, some needy people, people who are very poor, who are in need of food, clothing and shelter? I would just like to humbly, share some points over here. So when you donate to temples, say, like if I talk about ISKCON temple, I'm serving at ISKCON Kurukshetra. So these are not only temples who we just come and ring the bell and take some bundi prasad and then say Hari Bol. No. These temples are also providing us jnana. They are not providing us material knowledge, they are providing us spiritual knowledge. So in that way, the temple becomes like a university or college where it is actually teaching you the science of the soul. So unless you may become an engineer, a doctor or whatever, if you do not know the science of the soul, then everything is manushyanam, it's gone. Manushya jo jivan hai, it becomes pointless. And so it is, as soon as you donate for a temple, you are also donating and helping to make a college, a university, which will preach and which will spread, spiritual knowledge. As soon as you donate in temples, you are also donating and helping to feed the needy. Because in ISKCON society, we have what we call programs such as Food for Life. Listen. Forget about the video. programs such as Food for Life, and even Akshay Patra for that matter in Bangalore, which is world renowned, and we pay our pranams to all those devotees who are doing seva over there. How wonderful seva has also been appreciated by the President of India. So they're feeding lakhs and lakhs of children, people every single day. So it's happening through temple. There are different programs. We're feeding the needy, we're providing shelter. Srila Prabhupada said, I've made a house in which the whole world can come and live in. The temple is just not a temple, it's a house wherein people from China are coming, America are coming, Russia are coming, Indians, Pakistanis, Islamic countries, all coming and living together. Those who are anath, who do not have parents, now when they come in the shelter of Jagannath, they have a father. They have Supreme Father Jagannath. So anath gets Jagannath. And also, temple is also a visa office. If you want to go to America, you need to go to embassy and you need to get a visa. So if you want to go to Goloka, if you want to go to Vaikuntha, where will you go to get the visa? You have to go to temple. So temple is also like a visa office. Temples are also like hospitals. In hospital, doctors, they cure your physical body. But in temples, they cure your mind, the problem of your mind, stress and tension. So the temples are like hospitals, they're like visa offices, they're like they're shelters for the needy, they provide food. Everything is served through when you contribute or donate for a temple. So now I hope you can see on screen this beautiful project which is under construction right now. So this temple is in 6 acres, and at the very same spot called Jyotisar, where Lord Shri Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. As you can see, it is under construction and it has been 4 years. The construction is going on. It's a huge project. So every single penny counts. Every small contribution of yours, whatever Krishna would, empower any one of you listening out there. And if anyone feels to contribute, it would be of great help. You can see this magnanimous temple which is coming up. And I've shown, this is the front view right now. This is the front view of the temple. So there are going to be Krishna, Arjuna in the center, Gaur Nitai, and Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Maharani. There's going to be a robotic show where we show the whole Mahabharata through robots. It's going to be a very, very exciting, a very, very unique temple in the whole world. It's going to be an absolute unique temple for sure. And the whole world is going to come down. Right now, the whole world looks to Kurukshetra, where Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. As soon as this temple is made, by the help of all of you devotees, Kurukshetra Dham, its presence is going to go worldwide by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all of you devotees. So thank you so much. I would like to request my team to please. So this is the temple hall actually. This is the temple hall. This is the Garbhagriha of the deities. This is the parikrama. Right now we are making the parikrama, as you can see. Thank you very, very much. And I would pass it over to Shri Subbu Bhaiya. Yes. Who is very beautiful. Your tilakam is so beautiful. And your Laddu Gopalji is so cute and so sweet. He's in his jhulan. And he's shining and he's glowing. And so are you. I again offer my pranams to you. And I again thank you very, very much for giving me this opportunity to serve all the devotees with this wonderful talk, this topic. Krishna, the superhero. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. And thank you is not just good enough for bringing the blessing from Kurukshetra to all of us. And that too in a short time that I contacted you. And thanks to our friend Sarabjit Ghawaniji from Bangalore was...
yes, this talk would not have been, sorry I'm interrupting in between, this talk would not have been complete without my dear friend Sarabjit Ghawaniji, who himself is in Bangalore, very close to you. So you should stay in contact with him. I would request you to please stay in contact with him. He's a very wonderful devotee doing some par excellent service in Akshay Patra. So I thank Mr. Sarvin Gajwani ji for coordinating all this.
Yes, Prabhu. And if I have a question, if someone wants to follow you, your teachings, your preachings, and also if they want to be a part of the unique temple project and all that you have been initiating under the guidance of Sri Sakshi Gopal Prabhuji at Kurukshetra, how can somebody reach out to you, contact you, if you can share, so that we would be able to share that to all our devotees who are part of this festival?
So if anyone wants to reach out to us, the telephone number is 92156.
Yes.
So I repeat the number 92156 78101. And if you want to write to us, if you want to write to ISKCON Kurukshetra, our email ID is iskonkurukshetra@gmail.com. Very easy. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, you can write to me at Bhagavan Krishna gkd@gmail.com.
Yes, and I would also recommend to all our friends to follow Prabhu at Facebook, where you will get excellent updates on a daily basis on various Krishna Leelas and a lot of interesting things that he brings and connect to even the current topics. When even in Ram Janmabhoomi Shilanyas, when it was happening, so his joy, his ecstasy, he was bringing in very nice, unique way. And now with Radhashtami coming closer, I'm sure he's going to bring us a lot of unique things of Radharani's glory. And I'm excited to watch it all and then share with all of you. And of course, there are quite a few questions, but time is up. So we would look forward to have Shri Govind Krishnadas Prabhuji with us soon, physically, whenever the situation is possible, that he can travel and reach us all at Bangalore. So we would all have him here and enjoy his holy company, the satsang. And once again, I thank all of you for being part of it. Before we conclude, I'll request you to follow tomorrow's sessions. I would like to share on tomorrow's sessions. I request my friend Achala to share on tomorrow's sessions on the Global Festival of Divinity and Humanity. As usual, in the starting, in collaboration with Vijayashri School of Harikatha, we are going to have yet another disciple of the famous Guru Srimati Vishaka Hari, Dr. Bhairavi Vaitishwaran, who is going to present us on Shri Krishna's Rasa Leela as a Harikatha format. Dr. Bhairavi Vaitishwaran has done PhD on Krishna Leela Tarangini of Narayana Tirthar also in the music side. So she is going to present us on the Krishna Leela, Krishna's most important Leela of the Rasa Leela, which is followed by a talk by Professor P. Krishnamurti, who is also a great scholar, well-renowned, who has been the former director of K.K. Birla Academy at New Delhi. He is going to talk on the philosophy of Krishna's Rasa Leela. So both, it's a coincidence that Krishna Leela, the Harikatha, is also going to be on Rasa Leela, followed by Professor V. Krishnamurti, a very great renowned scholar. He is just 96 years young. He is just 96 years young. He is going to talk on the philosophy of Shri Krishna's Rasa Leela. So that is going to be the session for tomorrow. Also, I have another thing to share. We have with us from the media side, youthnews.online, who is supporting this festival, taking us to reach to more youngsters, more youth through the media, social media. So they have a Ganesh Chaturthi Utsav tomorrow at 6 p.m., which is going to be on Facebook through their channel, youthnews.online, Ganesh Chaturthi event. We are also part of it. Adhyatma Yoga and Vishwa at Canada by Swami Satya Prakash ji is also part of it. So please do join at 6 p.m. and 6:30 we will be back again with our festival, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Once again, my humble pranams to all the divine souls who have been part of this. And I understand in South we have the Ganesh Puja. Tomorrow, there are many people who are busy with the preparation for Ganesh Chaturthi. And Krishna and Ganesh, again, so close to each other. So Ganesh ji will also be very happy if you participate in Krishna's festival here. We have a beautiful temple in Kerala called Malliyur, for the information of even Govind Krishna Prabhu. So we have a beautiful temple of Ganesha at Malliyur in Kerala, where Malliyur Shankaran Nambudri has been the priest of the lineage, a great lineage of Nambudri. And then, but he had been a great Krishna Bhakta. So he was hesitating that how would I go and worship Ganesha, the family deity, but I am a Krishna Bhakta. He was so greatly devoted in Srimad Bhagavatam and all. So how would I go and worship Anya Devata Ganesha? So once he was thinking like that, and he was sitting in front of the Ganesha statue and he was meditating on Lord Shri Krishna, he could see a drishyam, a form there, where Ganesha was feeding his modaka, which was present there before him, to Lord Shri Krishna, who is on his lap. So this is where when he saw, and then when he went into the shrine, he could see Salagrama, a Krishna Santana Gopala Krishna Salagrama Murti, Shila Murti, on the lap of Lord Shri Ganesha. So therefore, Ganesha and Krishna together are seen in this beautiful temple. Henceforth, the puja for Ganesha is performed along with Shri Krishna Santana Gopala, and Bhagavata Saptaham keeps happening all throughout the year in Kottayam district of Kerala at Malliyur. So Krishna and Ganesha are friends. So we among devotees, so we should also celebrate them both together. And that's how let's say Ganapati Bappa Moria and Jai Shri Ganapati Bappa
Moria, Mangala Murti, Moria.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
So we conclude with the Utsava Geetam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. And once again, Hare Krishna, and thanks to Sri Govind Krishna Prabhu and all divine souls here.
Vasudeva